This video is sponsored by Incogni. Ireland, with over 3.4 million eligible voters, has headed to the polls in a high-stakes snap election. Polls had predicted a razor-thin 3% margin between the top three parties, making this one of the most closely contested races in recent history. The main contenders were the centre-right Fianna Fáil, a key player in the outgoing government led by Prime Minister Simon Harris, the centrist Fianna Fáil, a ruling coalition partner in the outgoing administration, and the left-wing Sinn Féin, the largest opposition force. In terms of the EU, and since we're an EU-focused channel, it's worth noting that all three parties are generally pro-Europe, though in varying degrees. Both Fianna Fáil, part of the EPP, and Fianna Fáil, aligned with Renew Europe, are pro-European, but support Ireland's neutrality and defence. Sinn Féin, part of the left in the EU Parliament, is not necessarily anti-EU, but is definitely more critical of the EU's current structures, calling for reforms and rejecting any military integration or cooperation. So now that you know the key players, let's rewind the clock to the start of this year to understand what led us to this moment. Back in January, the left-wing Sinn Féin was riding high in the polls at 29%, dominating its opposition and capturing significant public support. But fast forward to November the 6th, and their popularity has taken a sharp nosedive to third place at 18%, largely due to their unclear position on migration and a series of damaging scandals. These controversies include allegations of misconduct, internal mismanagement, and cover-ups. For example, a former Sinn Féin press officer admitted to child sex offences, with two party staff resigning after providing him unauthorised references. Two Sinn Féin members of parliament also resigned, one over claims of censorship and another following a controversial internal investigation into a sexual harassment complaint. Additionally, a former senator stepped down after admitting to sending inappropriate text messages to a teenager. These issues have raised serious concerns about Sinn Féin's leadership and integrity. Instead of focusing on Ireland's future, the party has been stuck in damage control, putting extra pressure on Mary Lou McDonald at a critical time. Naturally, the opposition seized the moment. Prime Minister Simon Harris called a snap election for November the 29th. Rather than waiting for the March deadline, hoping to capitalize on two key factors: a feel-good October budget that delivered €2.2 billion in bonus cash just in time for Christmas, and Sinn Féin's stunning collapse. This bold move was part of Harris's bid to extend Fianna Fáil's record 14-year hold on power. Ireland has now gone to the polls, and the country employs a unique voting system. There are 43 constituencies, where voters elect multiple lawmakers into the 174-seat parliament. Voters rank candidates in their constituency in order of preference, one for their first choice, two for their second, and so on. This system, known as proportional representation with a single transferable vote, allows for a more accurate reflection of voter preferences. But explaining this in detail would require a whole new video, so let us know if you're interested. Now, who has actually won? The Irish elections definitely don't make the headlines in my home country, but I stay in the loop with some excellent daily newsletters. The downside? My inbox is drowning in spam. I've tried unsubscribing and blocking senders, but it feels like an endless battle. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Behind the scenes, countless of databases hold your personal information, your name, home address, phone number, and more. And in the wrong hands, it could end up being sold, or worse, exploited by criminals. This is exactly what happened to me when I got a fake DHL email asking for money to receive a package, and I almost fell for it. And it's not just about spam. Your data is out there for anyone to misuse. And this is where today's sponsor, Incogni, really shines. Incogni contacts these data brokers for you, requests the removal of your personal information, and even handles any objections that come up. It's like having your own personal team working to clean up your digital footprint. And since many data brokers continue collecting your info, even after they've removed it, Incogni keeps working for you by sending repeated removal requests. So protect your privacy today in 3 easy steps. Create an account, grant Incogni permission to contact data brokers, and sit back while they handle objections and keep you updated. If you go to incogni.com/EUMadeSimple and use my exclusive code EUMadeSimple, you'll get 60% off. It really is a small price to pay to protect yourself and avoid getting scammed. So, without any further ado, let's look at the election results. In third place is Fianna Fáil with 20.8% of the vote, resulting in 38 seats. In second, we have the Sinn Féin party, securing 19% of the vote and earning 39 seats. And finally, the winner of the Irish elections is the Fianna Fáil party, with 21.9% of the vote, claiming 48 seats. This outcome likely marks the end of Simon Harris's tenure as Prime Minister. His gamble of calling an early election to outmaneuver Sinn Féin backfired, with Sinn Féin getting one more seat. However, the real surprise came from Harris's coalition party, Fianna Fáil, who surged ahead to claim the top spot by a significant margin. This stunning turn of events is a major triumph for Fianna Fáil and positions Michael Martin to become the new Prime Minister of Ireland. But we're not done yet with the rankings. In an impressive fourth were the independents. Ireland's proportional representation system facilitates a more diverse parliamentary makeup, allowing smaller parties and independent candidates with strong local support to secure seats. This independent group represents a wide array of political perspectives, from far left to far right, and from pro-EU to anti-EU activists. Tied in fifth were the Social Democrats and the centre-left Labour Party. In seventh came the right-wing Independent Ireland. In eighth, the far-left People Before Profit Solidarity Party. And in ninth, the socially conservative yet fiscally centre-left On Two. And in a very disappointing 10th, the centre-left Greens. Now going back to the 5 biggest parties, let's also take another quick look at how these parties align with the EU political groups and their stance on the EU. Notably, none of the top 5 parties are strongly Eurosceptic. Ireland represents a unique landscape compared to many European countries, as it lacks a significant top 5 far-right party. However, far-right voices on social media have been working to drum up hostility toward migrants. You see, Ireland has an acute housing shortage, which was one of the major topics to dominate the election. And tangled up with the housing issue is immigration, a fairly recent challenge to a country long defined by emigration. Recent arrivals include more than 100,000 Ukrainians displaced by war, and thousands of people fleeing poverty and conflict in the Middle East and Africa. Interestingly, this issue seems to have impacted Sinn Féin, as some working-class supporters were not happy with the party's unclear immigration policies. Another topic that has gained significant traction over the past decade is the prospect of Ireland's reunification with Northern Ireland, which is currently part of the UK. While Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil acknowledge the possibility of reunification in the far future, they do not actively pursue it. Sinn Féin, however, is the party most strongly in favour of reunification, and wants a referendum by 2030. Notably, Sinn Féin also has a Northern Ireland branch, and they are currently the biggest party in local government, the Stormont Assembly, and Westminster. For advocates of reunification, this election result may come as a disappointment. Sinn Féin in power on both sides of the border would have added substantial pressure on the UK to permit a reunification referendum, a crucial step towards advancing the cause. Nonetheless, with no party securing 50% of the votes, coalition building will be essential. The most likely outcome is another Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael coalition. However, even this partnership falls short of the 88 seats needed for a majority, meaning a third partner will be required. The Labour Party emerges as the most likely candidate, as a recent opinion poll shows it as the public's preferred choice for a junior coalition partner, with 21% support. If Labour declines to join, there are several other alternatives. They could team up with a select group of independents, though this would require careful negotiation given the ideological diversity within the group. Or they could team up with the Social Democrats, but this option is less likely, as they are positioned further to the left than Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael typically prefer. Interestingly, the outgoing coalition partner, the Greens, are entirely out of contention after securing just 1 seat, a dramatic fall from their previous standing. But what do you think? Do you like the new Irish Parliament? And don't forget to check out Incogni, an amazing tool to protect your privacy. And we also have a very cool video here about the Romanian elections, which happened the very same weekend. Or an older video here about the structure of the European Parliament. Subscribe and share the content if you found the video interesting. And a huge shout out to our patrons, especially our presidents, Jan, Sjoukje, BJ, Peter, Kristin, and AGVD. Your support makes this all possible.